All right, good evening and welcome to the Draft Storm. We did a little bit something different there, a little countdown. This is week 4 of the college football season already. Week 4, which is insanity. Before we get going into that, um, let's get to First Due Plumbing. Any problem with your toilet, your sink, frozen pipes in the winter? You got some frozen pipes. Call First Due Plumbing at 412-979-5402. They are a 24-hour standby company who always has your back. Once again, that is First Due Plumbing. Great guy. Yeah, he has your back, man. Anytime you need anything done plumbing wise, 24 hours, give them a call. They will be there for your assistance. Let's bring in my tag team partner, Snyder. How's things going, man?
Another wonderful day in the paradise.
Dude, we have not gotten rain here in Pittsburgh. It seems like since June.
Tell me about it. And you can tell I haven't mowed my grass in over a month.
Yeah, usually I wouldn't complain, but the front yard's looking a little rough here. And they're not calling for it again. I mean, it was supposed to be Thursday, Saturday. I think
Yeah.
Tuesday. Tuesday may be our savior, a saving grace. But week 3 came and went already, man. This is crazy how fast this season is upon us and it's going. There was some huge games in this week. I thought, as we'll preface it by saying, week 4 ain't gonna have many games. A lot of teams are off coming up, so this is a big week for some teams to make a statement. Let's start with the one that I thought was sort of shocking, at least from the Notre Dame aspect of giving up 41 points. The Notre Dame Texas A&M game. That was a late game on Saturday night. Um, what did you gather from that? Is Notre Dame 0-2? Are they struggling?
Oh, yeah. I think Notre Dame hired the wrong defensive coordinator because their defense is not anywhere what it was last year.
And they have a
And
ton
that
of
was
talent.
supposed to be the strength of that team
Mhm.
was that defensive unit this year, and they're giving up big points. That's not good for them. Going now, they don't have a hard schedule after those first two games, but still, there's a couple teams that can put points on the board. So they have some issues. There ain't no doubt.
And let's foreshadow it by they could not stop the tag team of Marcel Reed and Mario Craver. Craver had a huge game. He was our impact HVAC player of the week. He put up big numbers against a solid, on paper, a solid Notre Dame secondary. I mean, there's some NFL talent there. Um, is this something? Cause you said this early in the year. You said if Notre Dame gets past these first 2 games, which we now we know they didn't. Do you still think they can run the table with their schedule?
From they probably only play one more team that might realistically have a chance to beat them. That would be USC. They should probably win every other game.
And USC is another team that entered them. They entered themselves into our top 25 this week. They're starting to quarterback Jordan Maleva. They look good. They got some talent there. It looks like they've
They
always
should.
they've
USC
always
always has talent. Just the coaching.
that's true. They always have. I mean, it's like you're out in LA with huge recruiting area there in California, and I think they're starting to find it this year. So that game to me was the most shocking game. What game do you want to discuss? What game did you really enjoy watching?
I'm trying to think which game. You got to tell me who was on again. I'm not even.
But
What was
Georgia Tech Clemson I thought was the one
Georgia
you.
Tennessee? That was the big game.
Oh yeah,
Georgia
that was the big.
Tennessee. I mean, I
Yeah,
watched that one, and that was a heck of a game. I mean, Tennessee gets out early. Brazil had a big game. Georgia comes back, takes the lead. Tennessee ties it up. Tennessee should have won. They missed a field goal, and they would have won that game. Instead, it goes to OT, and then Georgia wins. So it's Tennessee had every shot to beat Georgia and couldn't
I
finish.
and were you shocked? I mean, is it a deal that you think Tennessee has a great offense, or Georgia's defense ain't as good as you thought, or do you think it's just a mix of just a good game, or
I'm
you
giving
think it's.
credit to Tennessee's O on that one.
Mhm.
That quarterback that we knew nothing about looked really good. And that
Yeah,
Brazil, he made several big catches under. I mean, people were on him,
Yeah,
and he ball and
Aguilar to Brazel and him they
yeah.
look very very good. I mean, Tennessee was putting up points quick. I think that was part of the problem with giving Georgia too much time in that game. The keeping it back. It was a great game. It went to what overtime. Georgia kicking the field goal, winning 44-41. Tennessee stays in our top 25, which they should. They're number 19. Um, they play UAB this week. They look like a team that could make some noise in the SEC.
Oh,
It,
they could very easily. That with that offense they got, if that offense is for real, which it looks like it is, they're going to beat some teams.
and by the way, that's Mark from EXL asking if Nikki asking where Ricardo is. That's an inside joke, so I won't get into that one. But definitely the one thing that I noticed too was with Tennessee, they got some sincere talent even on the defensive side of the ball as well with a couple edge rushers.
Oh yeah.
They have a nice team, and if you listen to our resident Tennessee fan TJ Chapman, he loves Josh Heupel. I mean, he thinks Heupel is a great head coach, and this
Oh,
might be
he's
their
brought
year.
Tennessee back to relevance. He really
Oh,
has.
oh, definitely
Tennessee
last
was
3 years.
the one of the dredges of the SEC for a few years. Now with Heupel back there, he's brought them right back up into the upper echelon of teams in the SEC.
Yeah, he definitely has. I mean, the last 3 years they've been a team worth watching. I mean, I was lucky enough that they played a home and home with Pitt, so I got to watch them for a couple years in a row. They looked phenomenal, and let's a little segue that into Pitt, West Virginia, man. Wow. It feels like a full season for Pitt fans because we've already blown a game that we should have won. We had the what
Should
not
have.
was a we had a 9 point
Yes.
lead with 9 minutes to go, whatever it was, and could not stop them. Could not get a first down when we needed a first down. I mean, Desmond Reed has a little bit to do with it, but you can't blame an injury in a game like that. But
Especially when West Virginia's offense was not very good.
no, they weren't. I was impressed with the lefty that came in. The lefty that played. I thought he did well. He threw the ball well. Pitches could not. I mean, I'm a believer that I think this is Narduzzi's swan song. Man. I think it's the new AD in there. There's no connection to Narduzzi anymore. It ain't Heather Like who is there anymore. So this is just. I think Narduzzi's days are numbered. I think it's gonna be his last season at Pitt. I really
How
do.
many
I
how
think
many years are left on that contract? That'll let you know.
well, that's true too. There is a couple years left. They got an extension, but I still think that this AD is not gonna.
Yeah.
I think he wants his own guy in
This ain't
there.
this ain't Texas.
That's
They're going to worry
true.
about that money.
Yeah, we like you said, we don't got
We don't
oil
got
money.
oil
We don't got no oil money. We got bridge money here. Bridge money doesn't go as good, man. Um, so those are three games. That game, of course, really didn't have no bearing on the top 25. It just it was one of the good games. I mean, one of the big rival games early in the year. So kudos, and I know I don't give them enough kudos, but kudos to West Virginia um, to come back in that game and win it, which keeps I think that's 5 years in a row now the home team has won that game. So I guess the home field advantage has a lot to do in that game. Um, One game I want to talk about that ain't really a big game. They're in the top 25, but how do you feel about the young kid Underwood from Michigan? I know it was against Central Michigan, but do you think that Michigan? Do you? I know they're not on your schedule for Penn State, but do you have a feeling that they could be a team that makes some damage in the Big Ten down the road, down
No,
the stretch? No.
they can run the ball. They're going to be. He's a great athlete playing quarterback right now. They can run the heck out of the ball. They play pretty good D. They can't throw the ball. When you play the good teams, you got to be able to throw the ball. He's looked okay against these cupcakes, but when he played the better teams like Oklahoma, he did nothing. He ran the ball well, but he
Yeah.
can't throw it.
Yeah, he
And
looked
that's
good
going to be
against
their
them.
downfall. And they play the good teams on their schedule, and I can't remember who all they got other than Ohio State.
Hmm.
They have either Illinois or Indiana, one of them somewhere in there, but that's going to hurt them.
And by the way, that's Vandy Chris. Vandy Chris. First off, Chris, congratulations on on the victory. I'm sure you and Andrew. I'm sure you and Andrew have a nice little thing going back and forth. The South Carolina, Virginia, or I'm sorry, Vanderbilt game. You just have to have a little bit of texting back and forth. But congratulations on that, man. Vanderbilt's shown these last couple of years, man. They beat Alabama now. They beat South Carolina. They've beaten some teams, and you picked early in the year that they would beat Alabama. So I'm interested when that happen. That game comes up. But he saw an article that listed Narduzzi as a candidate at Vodtech Thoughts. I really think that Narduzzi's last stop is Pitt, no matter what. He's getting up there a little bit, not old, but I don't know if he has the fire and the passion to start over at another school. That's just my opinion. Does it make sense at Vodtech?
No,
I
I
didn't
don't
think
see
so
it.
either. I like Brett Pry. I don't. I think he had issues getting his team to. I thought last year, like 2 years ago, he made some headways with that team. Taking over for
What happened to you?
Bill O'Brien did a great job of bridging that gap whenever Paterno left, and then he left it for Franklin. So I thought you guys played that well at Penn State. You know, bringing in. I think Bill O'Brien did what he had to do in them couple
Oh, he
years
did a heck
after.
of a job with what they had there.
That's what I mean. So I think Chris, I find that hard to believe if he would go there or a school like, especially a school that needs to like they're pretty much they got to rebuild.
I don't know why they want him. Honestly, why would they really want him?
Yeah, I mean,
I'd rather
I
get
could.
some young guy with a creative offense. I just don't see Narduzzi. He's an old school defensive minded. Yeah, I just plus,
I
like
was
you
just,
said, he's older. Narduzzi's probably 60s.
yeah, and I was just gonna say, I would be more. I would honestly think a team if he got like free Pitt money, if Pitt did get rid of him after the year, he's cashing in. I could see a team bringing him on as a defensive coordinator if that makes sense. Like
Yeah, but he ain't
maybe
going to do that.
you don't think he'll go back to that them roots.
Why would he at this point?
That's true. He's an older guy. I mean, sometimes you see it with the older guys, but I mean, he's been to Pitt for what 10 years, 11 years now. So, I do think this is his last stop. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion, Chris. But thank you for tuning in. Like I said once again, Chris, congratulations on Vandy. They just missed our top 25. They had 8 votes, um, and Michigan was at 8 votes. Actually, 9 votes at 25. So. Um, it was a good. It could be a good run for Vanderbilt, man. I mean, that's a good. SEC's wide open. It's not wide open, so to speak. Still think Georgia's the team, but LSU, Georgia. But there's some room in that conference now with these teams. I mean, especially if Sellers is going to be out for a little bit. Um, you know, Michael Vick or Jimbo Fisher, VT. Vic, I think's a stretch.
Not going to
Jimbo,
be Michael Vick.
yeah, Jimbo Fisher possibly. I mean, I think that guy would take a job anywhere right now. But Michael Vick, I'd be shocked. I mean, don't get
Where
me wrong,
where
but
where has Fisher really done well at?
that's true. He's basically still running on his name. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
mean he
don't
won
know.
big on his first or second year after Bowden retired at Florida State, and then he basically ran that program into nothing. Then he went to A&M and did absolutely nothing, playing 7-5 for how many years until they got rid of him.
Yeah, I mean, I think Virginia Tech's going to take their time and get the guy they want. I mean, like I said, they're coming off a Beamer. You had Pry, who I thought was a good. I thought he was the guy, man. I thought a couple of years ago just that enthusiasm. He sort of reminded me of like a. I'm not going to say he is that guy, but he reminded me of like a Dan Campbell type coach, a guy that gets in your face. Like a fun guy to play for. But this year, it all last couple like the end of last year and this year just went all downhill quick for him, and Tech made that move. But hey, we're going to go to commercial. We got a couple more games to talk about when we come back. But don't forget once again, First Do Plumbing. Anything you need at all. Sink clogged, toilet clogged, pipes, anything, drains all stuffed up. They're 24-hour calls. So if you have an emergency, give them a call. If you just have a toilet that needs replaced, I wouldn't call them at 3 in the morning or nothing. But give them a call, 412-979-3700. 5402 um, to talk. And the guy that owns the company's name is Rob Mortimer, a great guy. Advertising with Sports Five. Well, hopefully we'll have him at our 2026 draft party. We'll have some things going on with all the advertisers. I'm starting to work out some deals with people there. So sit by for commercial. Come back. We'll be back with the couple other games we want to talk about. Then we'll go quickly on the week ahead. There are not many games coming up. All right, we are back with the draft storm. You hear them winds rolling up. Um, College football season is moving quick. It's upon us, man. There's some big games week in and week out now. I mean, games that could affect. Real quick, Snyder, that Notre Dame loss, is that basically, for all intents and purposes, almost keep them out of the playoffs now?
No, if they run the rest of the schedule, they'll be 10-2 and they'll be in the playoffs.
I
Now,
don't
if
see
they
them
lose
doing that.
another game, which kills them, because they can't win on a conference championship, they have to be in that large team. If they get another loss, they're in trouble.
I agree with you. I think they will lose one down the road. I think their
Go
defense is.
USC.
Yeah, that's the game, man. So let's go through our top 25 real quick and go over a couple of the other games we didn't talk about. But we have Ohio State number one. They destroyed Ohio U. Not as much as I thought they would. They struggled a little bit at the beginning. Penn State destroyed Villanova. So these two teams, but they're both off. So Ohio State's off. Penn State's off. Georgia, we already talked about that great win against at Tennessee. They're off. So the top three teams in the country in our top 25 are off. That leads us to LSU, who beat Florida 20-10. LSU starting to impress me. I hate to give Brian Kelly any kudos, but I think he looks like he has a good defense, man. Look, his defense is fast. They have a couple really good guys. Weeks, Peyton. They got some speed on defense. I think LSU's built. They're built to make some noise. That's for sure. They're going to be there at the end. They play Southeastern Louisiana this week. Oregon.
Cupcake U
Oregon has a unique thing coming up because Oregon's 3-0.
rivalry game.
They beat Northwestern. They play a rivalry game against Oregon State, but in the crosshairs after that, they travel to Penn State. Do they? Could this be a rough one if they don't pay attention?
Could it? Yes. And you never know for sure in a rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
But there's on paper anyway, they're so much better than Oregon State. I mean, Oregon's really going to have their head up their butts to blow this one.
And Oregon State has been getting.
Could
They have
happen. I
been
mean,
getting.
like you said, they're looking at that Penn State game, and I'm sure the coaches and staff and everyone else looking at that going, hey, this is a whiteout game at Penn State. That got to really get people looking.
And as a football fan that's been a football fan your whole life, do you look at how do you look at that? I love asking people this, like, Oregon's playing straight through, and they play Penn State no week off. Penn State has that week off after playing three cupcakes. I mean, there's no doubt they played three cupcakes, right?
Well, there's no doubt, yes.
How who do you give if you had to give an advantage to a team in that? Do you give an advantage? Like, do you say, man,
Oregon, they
I
played
was
someone.
that's what I'm
At least they
thinking.
played a team that made them make some plays. Penn State's played nobody.
And they played Northwestern, who, I mean, okay, they're not
They're
great, but
not
they're they're
good, but
they're a
no.
Big Ten school. Oregon State, they didn't really play any. They did play a cupcake along the road. I got their schedule off. They played some teams that can play some football. So I do agree with you. I think that week off after a cupcake sometimes you're gonna get it's gonna feel like they're getting punched in the face a little harder than a normal, getting punched in the face because they're playing a team that actually has talent for the first time all year. But there is the white eyes. It's gonna be an awesome game. That's 2 weeks away, and that's Oregon and Penn State. But Oregon plays Oregon State this week. Miami shocked me this week. I actually on the website wanted to predict an upset, and I took South Florida to beat Miami, and that didn't happen, man. Miami looks to be pretty
They
close
handled it.
to real, yeah, 49-12 against the number 23 South Florida team, and they play Florida this week, which another rivalry game. Um, I think it's going to be a decent game. I think Florida hung with LSU. Their offense didn't look great. Leg away through five, and
Uh,
I still
When you
think he's
throw five
throwing interceptions.
interceptions, you shouldn't win.
Yeah, I mean, basically you only lose by 10 points by throwing five
Yeah,
interceptions. We actually that's sort of impressive. They only lost by 10 with five pickoffs. But that's a unique game, Miami, Florida. That'll be a good one this week. There ain't many good games this week. Texas
there's
two,
4 or 5 that are worthwhile watching.
yeah, Texas 2-1. Look like crap though. And we talked about this, me and you, when I was over your house. They beat UTEP 27-10. Arch Manning getting booed. I mean,
Oh yeah, he's looking
it,
bad. He's not
it,
looking good.
it's not looking good at all, man. I mean, he's underthrowing guys in the end. He make bad interceptions. I thought Holstein's thrown a lot of interceptions in the end zone. And Manning's matching him. They play Sam Houston this week, Cupcake. I'm sure Manning will throw for 450, 5 touchdowns, and people will start talking about him again. But I'm not impressed. I haven't been impressed.
No,
Um,
not at this point.
I wouldn't even put him in the top 10 of my Heisman. That's basically. I mean,
He's out of that.
definitely. Number 6, Oklahoma, and they have a good
There's
game
a
this
good.
week. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oklahoma, Auburn. And Auburn's impressing me. Um, we have them number 22 in ours. We have Oklahoma number 8. Um, Weird matchup last week. I heard an announcer say this too. Like, who schedules Oklahoma at Temple? Just a unique. It's a very wild. Like, if you think about it, it's a unique game. Oklahoma at Temple. Like, you don't see that very often. Like that kind of game.
No, you don't. But that gives Oklahoma an East Coast viewership, a presence,
That's true.
where maybe some East Coast teams will look at Oklahoma or East Coast players will look at them.
42-3, they beat Temple. Of course, we knew that was going to happen. They play Auburn. This is going to be a good game, man.
Yeah,
Jackson
that should be
Arnold.
one of the better ones.
Yeah, Jackson Arnold looks good. Auburn looks. They look legit, man. They're coming off 31-15 South Alabama. Not a huge game here, but they've been playing good all season long. They're 3-0 as well. Number 9. This is the game. This is probably the best game of the week. On paper and just ranking wise, we have number 9 Illinois at number 17 Indiana, and I think this is going to be it's a good one. These are the two teams now that everybody talks about after Penn State, Oregon, and and
Ohio State.
Michigan, and Ohio State. Yeah, and Michigan is actually behind these two now. You don't even talk about Michigan really. So these are like the new two. They're like the tier 2 teams now in the Big Ten. And how do you? This is gonna be a good one, man. I mean, this is gonna be Illinois has got some serious talent on both sides of the ball, especially on defense.
Well, this is a
Um,
prove it game, and this is a prove it game in the Big
mhm.
Ten. I mean, these two teams are fighting for relevance, and honestly, if Illinois wins this game, they got one tough game left on their schedule. Really, that's Ohio State, I think, or it might be Michigan. I forget which one, but they have one tough game left. They should run the rest of their schedule.
It's a unique. It's a good game. It's the best matchup of the week. It's one that means the most because, like you said, if one of these two teams win this game, it's gonna it's gonna put them at the top of. They should stay towards the top of the Big Ten
Yes,
standings.
they have a very good chance of making the playoffs. The winner of this game.
So this game is really worth watching, and that's once again that's at Indiana at I'm sorry, Illinois at Indiana. Number 9 Illinois, 17 Indiana. A&M coming off that big win, they're off. We have them number 10, number 11 Florida State. They were off last week. They play Kent State. That'll be a cupcake. They should go to 3-0. They've been impressive early in the year. Iowa State, the only 4-0 team in the country. They barely beat Arkansas State. They're off this week. But they're number 12 for us. A lot of teams off this week. Ole Miss. They beat Arkansas. It was a good win for them. 41-35. It was a good game. They play at home against Tulane, so they should easily go to 4-0. Another game that was sort of made a statement game last week. Alabama. They I'm not saying Wisconsin's one of their better. They're not one of their better Wisconsin teams. They went in there and they stuck it to Wisconsin pretty good. Um, they look good. I mean, Ty Simpson 2 weeks in a row. His
Yeah.
completions is like he's. I think it's like 4 incompletions in 2 weeks, something crazy
After
like
that
that.
FSU game in week one, he's looked really good.
Yeah,
Now,
and
is that
their
because the
receivers.
two teams he played haven't been very good, or is FSU just that good? That's
Their
yet to be
wide
seen yet.
their wide receivers look really good too, man. Williams and
Well, they got two of them.
Bernard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Williams and
Yep.
Bernard just and so they're off this week as well. So they should stay in the top 15 in ours. Texas Tech, a team that's on the run, man.
There's a good game.
And they're the
There's a
ones
good game there.
they just beat Oregon State 45-14. So, and they're playing at number 16
Utah.
Utah, and so they're basically 15 versus 16. And I know you're big on Utah. You've been big on them since the beginning of the year, and this is another show me game. I mean, another game. Hey,
It's a big game for the Big 12, I guess you would call it.
yeah, the Big 12.
That these are two teams that are going to be should be in the final couple for that playoff spot, that out coming out of that conference.
And Utah's
So
coming off
this
a
is a big one.
31-6 win. Yeah, I like this game. I think this one's right behind the Indiana Illinois game. Hopefully these games are all different times. I didn't check out yet, but I'm pretty sure they are. Um, then we go. Of course, we already did the Indiana 17. Number 18. This is another decent game. Number 18, Missouri, and they travel to South Carolina. Or no, I'm sorry, South Carolina travels to Missouri. Missouri's impressed me, man. They got this hardy running back is putting up 200 yards a week. I know it hasn't been against great teams yet, and Prabilla, the old Penn State quarterback, looking comfortable. That Missouri can make some. Another team in the SEC that can make some waves,
Well, yeah,
man.
but with Sellers out, that's not going to look like as near as good of a victory.
That's true as
Missouri should
well.
win this without them. Without South Carolina having Sellers, I would think this should be a pretty nice win for Missouri.
Tennessee, we've talked about them losing to Georgia. And they're playing at home against UAB. They should handle that. Here's a game that we didn't talk about yet. And this team's impressing the hell out of me. Number 20 Georgia Tech, beat Clemson 24-21. Beat 24-21. They beat Clemson. That was a punch him in the face kind of game. It was a good game.
What
Another
was?
guy that I know you're going to agree with me on this. I'm not impressed with Cade Klubnik really right now. Not like everybody else was on that high horse with him. Big fumble early in that game, sort of turned the tide in that game. Georgia Tech is a team you do not want to play, just the way that their offense is set up. I would not be shocked if Georgia Tech's in that championship game in the ACC at the end of the
Who do
year.
they play? Do they play anyone this week, or is it just a?
No, they're playing Temple, so that should be
Oh,
a
okay.
they should beat them pretty good. But they're playing Temple. They should go to 4-0. They should keep tracking themselves up in our top 25. They're a team that's really fun to watch. I mean, Haynes King. If you haven't watched Haynes King yet, he's a hell of a quarterback. It's amazing. Everybody's now trying to figure out what he brings to the NFL if he does bring something to the NFL. BYU 21. They were off last week. They play East Carolina. We talked about Auburn. They go to Oklahoma, which is a big game. USC, they beat Purdue 33-17. They go 3-0, and now they play Michigan State. So they're starting they're a couple Big Ten games back to back. It's hard saying USC in the Big Ten,
I know it's ridiculous, but
they look good, man. Their offense looks really scary good, man. Real scary. So they like you said, the talent's there. There's speed everywhere in
they
that
always
team.
have
So
talent. They're one of the most talented teams in the country.
then we have Navy at 24, 3-0. They beat Tulsa 42-23. Horvath is a great guy to watch as a quarterback. He's not going to throw the ball more than 7 or 8 times, but guy leads that offense. They could go now with Notre Dame looking the way they could. Navy could go undefeated. I mean, there's a
They're not going to
definite.
beat Notre Dame.
You don't see it at all. You don't see it.
I don't see
Uh,
that at all.
I don't either, being honest. But
Stranger
I mean,
things have happened, but yeah, that would be one of the stranger ones.
Snyder, be honest with me though. Would you love to see Navy beat Notre
Oh, I'd
Dame?
love every second of it.
I knew that. You were going to say
I'm
that.
still a Northern Illinois fan.
I think a lot of us are. I was in Philadelphia. I know exactly where I was. Like I know where I was for 9/11, a couple other things. I knew where I was when Northern Illinois beat Notre Dame, just
Yep.
because it was like a huge moment at the bar. Then we got Michigan at 25. They just snuck in over Vanderbilt. They destroyed Central Michigan. They could have trouble going to Nebraska, though. I mean,
That should be
that,
that's an interesting game. See if Nebraska's any good or not. They haven't really played anyone yet, so this is like
it's going to definitely
a
be a
game to see
dogfight.
how good they are.
It's going to be a dogfight for sure. So that's the games, people. That's our 25. Just so you know, the four teams that did get some votes for us was Vanderbilt, South Carolina, SMU, and Baylor. They were the four teams that almost got in there. I think SMU and Baylor you'll see in our top 25 here soon. I think Baylor just I think they're a pretty good team. I mean, them Big 12
Not
teams
just
is
the week
hard
one
to.
loss. The week one
Yeah.
loss dropped them down some, so it's tough to get in right now because a lot of the teams ahead of them in the top 25 aren't losing.
And
You're like
before
get like
we
4 or 5 teams, and that's it.
and before we go, look at that, Schneider.
Hey Ralph, you
By
need
the way,
glasses.
by the way, that's not Coors Light, Ralph. Show him what it is. Schneider has turned the page. He is now a Pabst Light drinker, Ralph, and I'm doing my Jacko. I do Jacko at least once a year. That's my favorite. My favorite pumpkin beer that's not Spoonwood. Spoonwood. I give you a quick little plug here. But once again, before we go, that was the games, everybody. Thank you for listening in. Before we go, I want to thank First Dew Plumbing, Rob Mortimer. Thank you so much for your advertising and patience with Sports 501. And once again, if you have trouble with the toilet, sink, any kind of issues at all, emergency, give them a call at 24 hours or there. 412-979-5402. That is First Dew Plumbing. Great company, great guy, a lot of good workers there. But guys, thank you once again, Snyder. That was a quick 30 minutes today, man. Went fast. Next week, of course, we'll go over Week Four's games and preview Week 5, which we already know one
Oh
of the
yeah,
big games.
we'll get ready next week, maybe.
Yeah, or the Oregon Ohio State game could that's going to have
Oh,
definite
get it right.
Oregon Penn State. That's going to have some big playoff implications for sure. So maybe not playoff implications. I think both teams are going to make the playoffs no matter who wins
Well, we'll
this
see if
game.
Penn State's any good.
Yeah, that's basically what we'll see if Franklin can finally beat a top 25
But you
team.
should know that. You should know that answer already.
That is true. But everybody, thank you guys so much for listening in. See us next week, 7 o'clock, same time, same place. Thank you.